There are many flavors or variants of Ubuntu, and Ubuntu itself is derived from Debian. At the moment, there's a pretty big family tree of Linuxes that come under Ubuntu, and in this video, I'll briefly cover the main differences between three of the major variants, namely Kubuntu, Lubuntu, and Xubuntu. Now first I have here is the Kubuntu variant. Comes with the KDE desktop, so the K stands for KDE. It's a more traditional desktop compared to the latest GNOME or Unity desktop that comes with Ubuntu. I haven't used it much in recent years, but some of my colleagues still swear by it. Kubuntu is the variant that's really about personal preference for the KDE desktop over the standard Unity that comes with Ubuntu. Now next we have Lubuntu, which is the lightweight variant of Ubuntu. So you can think of the L standing for lightweight. It really stands for the LXDE desktop as opposed to the KDE or GNOME or Unity desktops that you can install in Ubuntu. Now if you have a computer that's at most 10 years old, give or take, with half a gig or a gig of RAM, which is not much by today's standards, if you have a computer just sitting around gathering dust, installing Lubuntu is a great way to breathe life back into it. Or if you like the basic look and feel, there's on the homepage of Lubuntu.net, you can see it's cycling through some screenshots. You can notice right away there's very little or no drop shadow around the windows. Very flat, very square cornered, very basic icons. It's meant to be snappy and quick and work well on old computers. Or if you have a laptop and you're very power conscious, it's very light on your battery drain. So you can use it for a long time on a laptop without draining your battery. And there's a screenshot of the basic desktop here that I got from Wikimedia. Now, Xubuntu was traditionally another lightweight alternative desktop, but in recent years it has expanded as more of a competitor to the major Linux desktop variants like KDE or GNOME or Unity. Now, the look and feel is subjectively a little more modern than LXDE that comes with Lubuntu, but for me it also felt snappier and quicker than KDE, GNOME, or Unity. Now, the thing I liked most about Xubuntu NXEE, this desktop here that I'm showing the screenshot of, is the Thunar file manager, which is shown here. It was always, for me, the easiest to configure and customize the way I liked, so that worked well for me, and I did run Xubuntu for a number of years. Now, the Ubuntu family tree is more than just these three variants. If you see here, I've this image from Wikimedia that somebody uploaded with Ubuntu as the parent node, and all of these branches show all of the variants, or a large number of the variants. So we have Kubuntu that I covered briefly, and it also has some derivatives. If we go down the list, there's some that I've never seen before, I've never used before. Some I'm familiar with, like Mint, and you go down the list, you see there's Lubuntu and Chromium, obviously the Google operating system derived from Ubuntu. And there's quite a number here, many that some are very specific in their function, like the Xbox Media Center, which comes from Ubuntu. And down the list here, we have Xubuntu that I mentioned, and things like Xubuntu, which are targeted towards kids or educational users. Now, the last I'll mention is not really a variant of Ubuntu, but it's the parent of Ubuntu, or the ancestor of all Ubuntu variants, Debian. So Debian comes with a GNOME desktop, and it's the same desktop Ubuntu used to offer before introducing Unity, and some Ubuntu users were upset at Ubuntu for making that switch to Unity from GNOME, so many of them went back to Debian as their main desktop OS with GNOME. So you can think of Debian as the open source or free software purist of all the variants, not just the parent of all variants. Quite often, I use Debian as my main server operating system when I don't need a graphical user interface and only need shell or command line access. So to sum things up, if you have time, I recommend trying out these variants in a virtual machine so you can see which flavor you like best. So take them for a test drive. It's often a subjective decision about which one you like best, which one you like the look and feel of. And that concludes this video on Ubuntu variants.